I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me topics and questions and things like that. One of them really stood out to me, and I feel like goes with everything that we've talked about today. Well, not literally everything, but the main themes. So we're going to discuss that. So thank you so much to this person for asking this question. I don't know if you want me to say your name. But she basically asked how to reframe your interactions with others to not take things personally. Basically, how do we not take things personally? So this goes with this goes with everything. I have like a lot of thoughts. First of all, the first thing I wrote down, because I did take notes with my new pens, allow yourself to feel however you feel. Because I feel like there's this like fake positivity, fake spirituality thing of like, don't take anything personally. Anything anyone does is just a reflection of them, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's like, okay, true, but that you can still be hurt by something or offended or upset or pissed at something that someone says to you or the way someone treats you, even if it, like, oh, okay, it's just a reflection of them, So I feel like a lot of those sayings, like, don't take it, it's like just kind of an excuse, or like an excuse to not feel your feelings and an excuse to just push them out of the way. Like, it's kind of saying, oh, your feelings don't matter because, well, you shouldn't have even been taking it personally in the first place, So fuck that. Allow yourself to feel however you feel, even if it's not reasonable, even if like, okay, this probably isn't that, or I'm just being sensitive. Like, don't gaslight yourself, bitch. Feel your feelings. Then, after you feel your feelings, remind yourself that their deal is their deal. And I think, when we can come back to ourselves and like, I don't know, because, their deal is their deal. It's like, okay, well, my experience is still my experience. And like, I don't like being around you. Like, you piss me off. So being mindful of just how different people affect you energetically, affect your mood, just affect how you feel. Are you exhausted after hanging out with them? Do you make good choices when you're around them? And good choices, sometimes things are so small, but it just like little moments like can show a lot about someone's character. And just pay attention to how you feel. And then the next step that I wrote down is, if this is a friend, because there's if the cashier at Whole Foods is being rude, it's not like you're going to go back later and be like, what you said really hurt my feelings. So if it's like a friend that said something, or someone in your life that said something that hurt your feelings, and you're like, should I be taking this personally? Later, after you've felt your feelings and calmed down, I would recommend sharing how you feel and sharing your experience with them. And this can either strengthen your friendship or not. And that just shows you, where you stand with that person. And it doesn't have to be beef. It doesn't have to be anything. But you could it's like information about them, about the relationship, and all of that. So an example of that would be like, say you're at dinner, your friend says something that kind of bothers you. You're like thinking about it later. You're like kind of maybe trying to talk yourself out of it. Like, well, maybe I'm just being sensitive. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But it's just like still on your mind. Then, again, after you've calmed down, when you're in a little bit more reasonable state of mind, you're not feeling actively hurt, you're not actively angry or anything, I would be like, hey, like, I just want to share with you that whatever you said last night made me feel this way. I just wanted to ask if you could be more mindful next time, or if you could not say that, or if you could not bring that up, or like not use that tone with me. Like, I would really appreciate it. I value you as a friend, so that's why I'm sharing this with you, and I hope that like you would share something with me if it was bothering you. And then you can just kind of see how they react. Like, are they going to be immediately defensive and just like, oh, well, maybe like trying to gaslight you, like, I never said that? Or are they just going to be nice and like understanding and like, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Yeah, I'll be more mindful, or I'll, yeah, like, I understand, whatever. because it's like, what is not taking something personally? Because again, like, even if something has nothing to do with you, I'm still going to feel my emotions and they're going to be real to me. And I think part of being honest with ourselves and like more in tune with our emotions and how we feel is feeling them. So I think taking something personally is like, because I'm trying to think like, okay, what's like an example? I think a bad way of like, taking something personally is like, you just assume it's about you and it's a direct attack and you just never bring it up to them and you're just like resentful towards that person. Like, oh, they're just talking shit about me, or like they wanted to hurt me or embarrass me in front of everyone. Versus like if someone says something and you take it personally, like you are hurt by that, you feel something from that, but then later you talk to them about it, like, and either you get clarity like, oh no, I didn't mean it to be like that, like I'm so sorry, I won't bring it up again or say that again, or like whatever. Or they make, yeah, what's about you, you ugly bitch. Either way, like you get information about the relationship, the friendship. You're either going to take the friendship deeper, further, and be more connected to that person, or you're not. And it's information either way. It's like a win-win. Even though maybe losing a friend can hurt, if someone is not, on that level or ready to be vulnerable with you, or isn't willing to understand, like that can hurt, but at least, you don't have to continue that relationship. So that would be my advice. If you have any advice, let me know. But I think a lot of things I hear about, don't take it personally. Like a lot of it seems kind of avoidant of feeling emotions. Like if you're confident, you don't have to take anything personally because nothing is about you and you can protect your aura. It's like, that's just like unrealistic. Like sometimes things are gonna hurt more than other times, like, and it even just depends on like our own moods and like, I don't know, am I PMSing, like, etc. Sometimes maybe I'm gonna take something a little more hurtful than another time, but that doesn't mean like I just have to brush it off, like, oh well, I'm just being too sensitive, like, so let me know if you relate, if you agree. But yeah, be direct, people. Like if someone says something to you this week that you take personally, be direct with yourself by admitting how you truly feel, and then if necessary, be direct with them, like, hey, that hurt my feelings. Because it's really not as scary as you think, and the more you do it, the more you get into the practice of it, and the more it just becomes natural.